Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris, strat-o-matic Delaware, and I bring to you Game 2 of the American League Championship Series for the 79 card set tournament I've got going on here. In tonight's game, it is the Milwaukee Brewers in County Stadium hosting the Kansas City Royals. And the Royals are going to bat first, facing starting pitcher for the Brew Crew, Mike Caldwell. Willie Wilson will be leading off for the Royals. That's a 1-9 fly ball to left field. Ben Ogilvy is underneath it, and he tracks it down, makes the catch. Out number one. Amos Otis comes up to the plate, facing Mike Caldwell. That's 5-9 off Caldwell's card. Pops it up high, shallow left center. Robin Yount racing back, makes the catch. That is 2 away, top of the first. George Brett comes to the plate, takes a couple warm-up swings, pitch from Caldwell. 5-5, and he lets loose to the alley in right center, and Sixto Lezcano gets on it, bringing it in, but not before Brett gets to second with a stand-up double. So 2-out extra base hit for George Brett, the third baseman, brings up DH Hal McRae, designated hitter. Got that right. Al McRae, 1-5, and gets the one-star single split off his own card, moves Brett over to third. Royals looking to get something going early in the game here to keep from going home. Darrell Porter, 2-man on, 2 outs. Caldwell, 2-8, and he draws a walk to load the bases. McRae goes to second, files in behind George Brett, who's already at third. And the Royals trying to make something happen here. Al Cohens comes up, 2 out. 5-10 off Caldwell's card, pops it up behind first. Cecil Cooper is back, and he gets his glove on the ball, so the Brewers get out of an early game jam. So the Brewers get to take a crack at it. Bottom of the first, facing Dennis Leonard, starting pitcher on the mound for the Royals. Paul Molitor leads off. 1-7, and that's a single for Molitor. So Paul Molitor standing on first base. And the Royals are going to hold Molitor. So 1-15, and he's going to make something happen. 1-13, I think. Need to check that. Porter is a 2, takes off 3, 1-12. But he got a 10, so he's in there safe. We're going to do it no matter what. Lezcano with Molitor on second base. 5-6, a fly ball to deep right field, and Al Cohens is underneath it. He makes the grab for out number 1. Holds Molitor at second. Brings up first baseman Cecil Cooper, facing Leonard. 5-4, ground to third. Brett's fielding at a 3, looking for a 7, and that is out number 2. All other runners advance base. Molitor makes it to first. Brett could not check Molitor, so that is 5-3. Cooper goes down, 2 outs. Molitor standing 90 feet away. Ben Ogilvy comes to the plate, and Leonard walks him. Doesn't even want to mess with him first inning. Brings Gorman Thomas to the plate. A lot of home runs, low average. Leonard, 6-6, pop up behind first. Pete Lecoq gets underneath it. That is out number 3. Got to call that a good strategy for the Brew Crew because it paid off. We go to the top of the second. So Frank White's going to lead off against Caldwell. 4-6 off the pitcher's card. Ground to short. Robin Yount fielding at a 2, looking for a 5, and that is out number 1 over to Cooper easily. So 1 down. That'll bring up first baseman Pete Lecoq, facing Caldwell. 1-6, hits a hard rap at Sal Bando. He picks it up, he gets it over to Cooper, out number 2. Cock hit that one hard, Lecoq did, but Sal Bando had it taken care of easily. UL Washington, shortstop. 5-7, grounder to second. Molitor fields at a 2 with a 14, and that is out number 3. Gets it over to Cecil Cooper easily, and the Royals go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. That'll bring us to catcher Charlie Moore for the Royals, or for the Brewers rather. Dennis Leonard on the mound. 4-7, and he catches Charlie Moore swinging a knee cheese. Out number 1. Shortstop Robin Yount comes to the plate. Here's the pitch from Leonard. 5-12, hard rap at Pete Lecoq. He tosses it over to Dennis Leonard covering the base. So that's 2 away in the bottom of the second. Third baseman Sal Bando facing Dennis Leonard. 1-5, pops it up high behind third base. George Brett is tracking back by the foul line. He makes the catch. And with that, the Brewers go down 1-2-3. Scoreless game. Top of the third inning, Willie Wilson, top of the order, leading off for the Royals. 5-8 off Caldwell's card, pops it up behind first. Cecil Cooper takes a couple of steps back, plants his feet, makes the catch. Out number 1. Brings up Amos Otis, center fielder. And 4-4 off Caldwell's card. Hard ground ball to third base. Bando's a 2, looking for a 1. And it gets through to left field. That is a single for Amos Otis. So 1 out, man on first. And they're going to hold Amos Otis. And Amos Otis is going to go for second. So he's 1-12 with the hold. And he makes it. Is it? Moore is a 2. Yep, -3. 1-12. So, Amos Otis on second. George Brett facing Mike Caldwell. 1 out, man on second. 1-10, pops it up behind second base. Yount and Molitor converge. Paul Molitor calls it, makes the play. Out number 2. And that's going to bring up Hal McRae batting fourth this evening. He and Darrell Porter switched spots in the lineup. Hal McRae facing Caldwell. Man on second, 2 down. 1-3, pops it up behind third base. Sal Bando and Robin Yount converging, and Bando calls Robin Yount off, makes the catch. Easy work of the pop-up. So we go to the bottom of the third inning. Don Money, designated hitter. Not defensive anything, it's baseball, dummy. Bottom of the order, facing Leonard. Bottom of the third. 1-3. Money gets a double. Money gets a double. Brewers, man on second, none away. Paul Molitor comes to the plate. And Molitor squares around the bunt. And he lays it down. Don Money slow going to second. He is thrown out by Porter, no problem. 2-5, down, throw out. Fielder's choice. Molitor is on first with 1 away. Brewers tried to get somebody around there quickly in a hurry. Didn't quite pan out, but that's alright. 1 down, facing Leonard. Sixto Lezcano. They're holding Molitor. He's not going to do it this time. 5-8, pop up behind first. Pete Lecoq tracks back. He makes the catch, no problem. That is 2 away. Brings up Cecil Cooper. Pitch from Leonard, 6-7. And he just catches the 1-star single split, so that's going to put Molitor at second. Deposit Cooper on first base. So 2 outs and 2 on. Ben Ogilvy steps up to the plate. Three, 6, single, no stars. Cooper to second, Molitor to third. Molitor is trucking for home. As a 117, rolls a 116, just makes it. And Cooper makes it into third base behind him. So with 2 outs, Molitor scores. 1-run lead for the Brewers. Men at the corners, Cooper and Ogilvy, and that's going to bring up Gorman Thomas facing Dennis Leonard, bottom of the third. 4-10. And Gorman Thomas smacks this one hard. It's a long fly ball to left center field. Wilson and Otis coming to the wall, but it is over. It is out of there. Home run, Gorman Thomas. 3-run shot. Clears the bases. Brewers with a 4-0 lead. And in game 2, ahead 1 game already. Milwaukee is making a case for the World Series. So Charlie Moore facing Dennis Leonard. Leonard pounds his fist a couple of times, gets the ball back from Porter. Looks in for the signs as Charlie Moore takes his place in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. 1-5, fly ball to center field. Amos Otis works his way in, and he makes the play. That's going to end the inning, but the damage is done. The Brew Crew score 4. Here we go, top of the 4th. Darryl Porter leading off for the Royals, trying to make something happen. That's a 1-7, and he hits a single. Porter is on first base for the 2nd time today. Drew a walk his first time up in the 1st inning. Al Cohens comes up to the plate. And Porter takes off. It's a hit and run. Hit and run. 5. Ground ball to second base. Gets it over to first. And Molitor to Cooper. Gets Cohens out, but Porter made it to second on the hit and run. So Cohens is out number 1. Porter stands on second base. Frank White comes up. 6-4. Fly ball to center field. Gorman Thomas is underneath it. He makes the easy catch for out number 2. So with 2 down, Porter stands on second. That's going to bring up Pete Lecoq. He was a hero once in this postseason. Let's see if he can do it again. 1-6. Hard ground ball to Sal Bando. He picks it up. Gets it over to Cecil Cooper. That is out number 3. So that does it for the Royals bid in the top of the 4th inning. To improve their lead, Robin Yount leading off against Dennis Leonard. 6-11 fly ball left field X. Wilson is fielding at a 1, looking for a 4. It's a long fly ball. Willie Wilson is back. He's near the foul line, and he makes the easy catch for out number 1. Robin Yount, that's his 2nd time down this game, brings up Sal Bando. Facing Leonard, 1-1. 3-10, hard ground ball to UL Washington. He knocks it down, picks it up, gets it over to Pete Lecoq for out number 2. Had a tough time handling that one, but he got on top of it easily enough, so easy play for the Royals. Don Money, designated hitter, comes up. Pitch from Dennis Leonard, 6-3, and catches Money swinging low. Fastball up and in. Out number 3, and that is going to take us to the top of the 5th. So Kansas City Royals, 5 innings away from going home. UL Washington, shortstop, bottom of the order, facing Mike Caldwell. 2-5, and Washington goes down swinging. Caldwell catches him outside with a breaking ball. Just swings over top of it. That thing was in the dirt. Willie Wilson, 1 down, facing Caldwell. Willie Wilson, 5-7, ground to second X. Molitor fields at a 2, looking for a 17. Hard shot at Paul Molitor. He scoops it up over to Cecil Cooper. That is 2 away. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Amos Otis popped up to short his first time up, and then got a single and stole a base in his last at bat. 2 down, 4-7 off Caldwell's card, and Otis swings strike 3. Royals are getting close. Crew with things well in hand for the time being, but they would like to tack on a insurance run or two. Bottom of the 5th, Dennis Leonard on the mound for the Royals. For now, Paul Molitor, leadoff batter. That is 2-8. Hard ground ball at George Brett. He scoops it up. He takes his step, launches it to Lecoq for out number 1. Oh, 5-3 on the scorecard. That's going to bring up Sixto Lezcano, right fielder. Lezcano's been doing pretty good in this series. Game-winning home run last night, as a matter of fact. Free runner in the 12th. Facing Leonard. 110 hits a hard one to George Brett. Brett over to Lecoq for out number 2. Successful combo here in the bottom of the 5th. Brings up first baseman Cecil Cooper, 2 away, facing Leonard. 3-5, and Cooper goes down swinging. Leonard came unhinged in the bottom of the 3rd, but he seems to have regained his stride, so the Royals are sticking with him for now. Had opportunities, that is for sure. Bases loaded top of the 1st, but Mike Caldwell was able to get out of that jam, and other than that one instance, he's been in command of this game. George Brett batting 3rd, leadoff, top of the 6th. That is 4-7 off Caldwell's card, and Brett goes down swinging. The pitchers are starting to get a little bit of stuff on their pitches. Hal McRae, 1 away, trying to make something happen today. 5-7, grounder to second. Molitor fields at a 2-15. Hard shot to Paul Molitor. Molitor lets it get through to right field. Bounced off his glove. They're going to charge that as an E4. Paul Molitor. So Hal McRae on first base. Darrell Porter, catcher, comes up facing Caldwell. 4-9. Fly ball to left field. Ben Ogilvie, he tracks in right in front of Gorman Thomas. He makes the catch, so that is 2 away. McRae standing on first base. And the Royals, little by little, watching their chances slip away. Al Cohen's. That is 2-7. Hard grounder to Robin Yount. He snags it up no problem. Over to Cecil Cooper. And Cooper makes the step on the plate. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, where your score is Milwaukee 4, Kansas City 0. And Ben Ogilvie, cleanup batter, is leading off against Dennis Leonard. 3rd time through the lineup for the Brewers. 2-4. Back to the box. Leonard knocks it down, picks it up off the back of the mound, gets it over to Lecoq for out number 1. Gorman Thomas in to face Leonard. 1 away. 5-11. Back to the box. Leonard is fielding at a 2 with an 8, and he scoops it up over to Lecoq. Second verse, same as the first. Going to bring up catcher Charlie Moore. And back over there. 4-4. Catcher's card. Porter fields at a 2 with a 4. And that pitch goes behind the plate. Nobody on base. Leonard just lost his stuff on that one. Alright, here we go. Here is the pitch, and Moore pops it up high behind home plate. Darrell Porter tracking back underneath it, right in front of home plate. Makes the catch. That is out number 3. After 6, it's 4-0 Milwaukee. 7th inning. Frank White going to lead things off for the Royals. Kansas City needs to make something happen, and how? Facing Caldwell, 2-9. Fly ball to center field. Gorman Thomas and Sixto Lezcano are zeroing in on it. Thomas calls Lezcano off. And it is out number 1 by the center fielder. First baseman Pete Lecoq comes to the plate. The wind up from Caldwell in the pitch. 2-8 and low split. That's a single for Lecoq. Bloops through the left side. Pete Lecoq is on first. UL Washington, 1 away. And let's take a look at the lineup. Washington, he steps out to the plate. They're not interested in replacing him. Not yet. 1 down. Lecoq on first. Caldwell's pitch. 5-9. Pops it up behind short. Robin Yount takes a couple steps back, a couple steps in. Glove up, and it's in the mitt. 2 down. Pete Lecoq on first. That's going to bring up leadoff batter Willie Wilson. Wind up, and here's the pitch. 4-10, fly to center X. Thomas is fielding at a 1, looking for a 7. It's a long fly ball to center field. Looks like Gorman Thomas is underneath it, and he makes the catch easily, so that is out number 3. And the Royals are really hitting the skids here. They don't have much opportunities left to make something happen. At the old ball game, Charlie Moore, catcher, comes up facing Dennis Leonard. Leonard is still in the game at the moment. 4-6, ground to second X. Frank White fields at a 1, looking for a 17. Hard rap at Frank White, and he grabs it, gets it over to Lecoq for out number 1. 4-3 on the scorecard. That's going to bring up Robin Yount. Leonard facing Robin Yount. 5-10, fly to center. Otis is a 2 with an 18. Fly ball to center field. Amos Otis is tracking back. He gets underneath it, and he makes the play for out number 2. So the Brewers not making much happen outside of their little explosion there in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but that may prove to be enough. Dennis Leonard on the mound facing Sal Bando. And that is a 1-10 high pop up in the infield. Looks like Dennis Leonard and UL Washington are converging on the ball. Washington calls Leonard off. Leonard just gets out of the way, almost knocks into Washington, but Washington is able to make the play. So that is out number 3, and with that we go to the top of the 8th inning. Your score, Milwaukee Brewers 4, Kansas City Royals 0. Top of the 8th inning, Amos Otis comes up. Caldwell having a good game. Dennis Leonard is having a good game. He's actually faced 1 less batter than Mike Caldwell has. Here comes Amos Otis. 3-8, and he goes down swinging. Strike 1. Caldwell. That's his 1, 2, 3, 4th strikeout so far in his game. Brings up George Brett, 1 out. Facing Caldwell. 3-10, and George Brett slaps a single over Cecil Cooper's head. So that's his 2nd hit of the game. Brett stands on first base. Hal McRae. Here's Caldwell with the pitch, and George Brett takes off. Hal McRae swings, and batter lines out to second. Paul Molitor snags it and tosses it back over to Cooper for a double play to end the inning. Tried the hit and run, and it did not work. So 4-3, double play. Royals trying to make something happen, and it backfires. To the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Brewers, Sal Bando is up facing Dennis Leonard. Ground ball back to the box. Leonard scoops it up over to Lecoq, and that is out number 1, but Leonard is hobbled a little bit. It's not Bando. How on earth did Bando end up on top? You guys might see that last inning for the Brewers and think, what the heck is he doing? Because that was Molitor. Ay, jeez. There is an injury. We're going to change pitchers. That's a shame. Leonard had retired 14 batters in a row since that home run. So it looks like Al Raboski is going to come in with 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Paul Molitor grounded back to the box. Leonard made the play to Lecoq, and that's going to bring up Sixto Lezcano, 1 down. Bottom of the 8th. Pitch from Raboski, 2-5, and Lezcano gets on base with a single. It's his first hit of the game. Brings up Cecil Cooper, 1 down. 3-8, and Raboski catches Cooper on the corner. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brings up Ben Ogilvy, 2 men out. Lezcano on first. Dice rolling the pitch. 3-9. Long fly ball to Al Cohens. He's deep. He is back to the wall, but he makes the catch to end the 8th inning. This is it. It's do or die for the Kansas City 9. Down by 4. Top of the 9th. Mike Caldwell still going strong on the mound. Daryl Porter. 6-7. And Porter opens things up with a single. His second base hit of the game. 3rd time on base, including his leadoff walk. His leadoff at bat anyway. His first at bat. Al Cohens with Porter on. They need more than just getting an out to move him around the bases. 2-10, and there is a single by Cohens. And Caldwell might be getting to show his humanity here. Brewers are going to take a second. And the Brewers do go to the bullpen. They bring out right-hander Bill Castro. So Caldwell, 8 innings worth of work, but he's given up a couple of singles to lead off the top of the 9th. Castro is called in to clamp things down. Frank White, men at 1st and 2nd, none away. That's a 2-8 fly ball to left field deep. Ben Ogilvy is back. Doesn't have to go far to get it. That is out number 1. Going to bring up Pete Lecoq, first baseman. Bill Castro gets the signal from Charlie Moore. The wind up. Here's the pitch. 6-10 fly ball to Ben Ogilvy, pretty much where he's standing. He didn't have to move far to get that one at all. That is out number 2. And that's going to bring up UL Washington. And they've looked at the bench. They don't want to bring anybody in. Washington is better than anyone they got sitting down. So he's facing Castro with 2 men on, 2 outs. Royals 1 out away from going home. 6-4. Long fly ball to center field. Gorman Thomas is back. He gets underneath it. He makes the catch. That is out number 3. And the Milwaukee Brewers are going to the 1979 World Series. They win this game by a score of 4-0. Bill Caldwell with the win. Bill Castro comes in and clamps things down. And the Brewers are going on. They are going to face the winner of the next and final game between the Houston Astros and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we'll bring that game to you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is Chris, Strat-o-matic Delaware. Keep on rolling.